right, 15rounds.com here with world-ranked lightweight contender Vicente Escobedo. You're here in Las Vegas taking in the big pay-per-view tomorrow night, the MGM. Tell us about what it's like being here and why you came out.
Well, basically, I thought I was coming out here to do a little media and watch the fight, and I got surprised by Tecate. They nominated me for Fighter of the Year for the most karate.
It was the text, the weekly text thing, right? You got the most text.
Yeah, you come through. It's through the Solo Boxeo, and I was surprised. I got a belt. I was rewarded, and I'm very excited to be here. It was surprising and just overwhelming. I was surprised. They caught me off guard, and I'm here to receive that and watch some good fights and see my fans here and do a little bit of media, and I'm just enjoying this time that I have off.
I think you're a good fighter to be in town for this card. The co-features Robert Guerrero versus Michael Katsidis. You're very familiar with those guys.
Yes.
I think two of your three losses were against those two guys the last couple of years. What do you like? Who do you like in that fight, and how do you expect it to play out?
Well, they're both great fighters, very strong fighters. But to me, I see Guerrero winning the fight. To me, Katsidis is like a one-dimensional fighter, always comes forward. I think in order for him to get inside, because Robert's the bigger guy, he's going to be taking a lot of shots, receiving a lot of shots. And I think that's the only game plan that Katsidis really only has. Is just come forward. And against a big puncher like Guerrero, he's going to take a lot of consequences, a lot of shots. And I see Guerrero beating him. He's the much bigger guy, faster guy, southpaw. So that's the way I see the fight.
I find it kind of interesting you're saying Guerrero's the bigger guy because he's actually not been a lightweight very long. Katsidis has always been a lightweight, but you definitely feel Guerrero's the bigger, stronger guy?
Yeah, I definitely do. He's like 5'9", almost 5'10", I believe, 5'9". During the weigh-ins, he looked much taller, bigger. That's what I thought. When I went in there with him, he didn't seem that big. But when I went into the ring, when I got inside the ring with him, or at the weigh-ins, he did look bigger, more muscular. Same thing with Katsidis. When I was in there with him, he looked more bigger, more muscular. So this is a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking they're going to go toe-to-toe. I think there's going to be times where Robert's going to have to box and use his boxing skill, but I think he's going to have to hold his ground sometime and fight Katsidis because he's so aggressive.
And then the main event, Erik Morales, that was a name that was paired with you for I think a couple of fights back for him anyway. Yeah. How come that fight never came to fruition?
From what I know, he wanted to fight me. I accepted. I talked to Golden Boy. I said, okay, let's make it happen with all these terms, where, how much, and everything. It came down to basically there wasn't a written contract yet. He never signed the contract. I never did. But I accepted, to fight him. Last minute, he said he got sick or something happened, and for that reason, the fight did not happen.
He's a lot bigger. He's 140 pounds. What weight was that fight supposed to be at?
Well, the thing he wanted to make it at 140, and I guess again I would have to go up 2 weight classes to fight him, but I was willing to do that. He was a big name, and I thought I could beat him. And a win over Morales would be huge for my career. So I seen an opportunity, but it never happened. So, but who knows? Who knows if he would have came in at 140? That's what I was worried about. If he would come in at 140, if he was coming at 143, I mean, you never know with these things. So that's why we wanted to be really on point of what the weight was going to be and where it was going to be at these terms. And wanted it my terms. So, but it never happened.
I'm assuming, while you were dealing with that, you were watching a lot of Morales fights and maybe kept an eye on him as he came back. How do you feel about the main event tomorrow with him and Marcus Maidana?
I'm looking forward to it. I think Morales has a lot of experience. You see it all his recent fights, his past fights. Good boxer. He moves well. I see him. I see Morales pulling it off. If he boxes, sticks to his game plan, he can win this fight. But if he decides to trade and sit there with Maidana, he's going to lose because Maidana is very heavy-handed. And you sit there toe-to-toe with him, you're going to lose.
And then on your career, you fought just last month a good win against Walter Strada. You put him on the canvas, but won a decision. Tell us about that fight and how do you feel about that win?
I felt good. I didn't feel like I did the greatest performance. I thought I did okay. Perhaps on behalf, I hurt my hand in the 3rd round. I ended up having surgery, as you can see. But I did knock him down. I just couldn't finish him. He was a very awkward southpaw, more awkward than Robert the Ghost. But overall, I got the win. That's what's more important. But you know, my performance wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. I'm looking forward to just getting better off this hand and getting back in there hopefully this summer, and especially at my normal weight class, which is 130, and just go out there and fight anybody at 130. The champions are out there, anybody. I'll fight anybody at 130. I think it's my time, and I'm at the right weight class to do that.
So it's not a real serious injury that you expect to be back in the ring sometime this summer?
Yeah, definitely. It's just gotta let it heal and be back in there this summer for another fight.
You mentioned super featherweight, 130 pounds. You had talked to me before about you wanting to move down there and you feel you'd be better off there.
Yeah.
I think for the Strata fight you were like 132, 133. Yeah. Do you expect to be fighting at 130 pounds in your next fight?
Yeah, definitely. Probably be a catch weight, but if we have to, we'll make it 130. But if it's not a world title, it's not necessary to make 130. We can make it at 131, 132. Either way, I'll definitely be sticking around at 130. That's definitely my weight class.
That's a division I think that's a very open division. All the champions aren't really well known in the United States. It'd be quick for you to maybe move through the rankings and be an attractive opponent for one of those guys. Do you have your eye on any of the champions at super featherweight?
Right now I don't. At the moment I don't. I'm not calling it. I'm just whoever they put in front of me, I'm ready to fight at 130. So I'll just wait for my manager to take care of that, my promoter, which is Golden Boy, to handle that. But anybody they put in front of me, I'm ready.
I think two of the guys you might be familiar with at that weight class, fellow Golden Boy promoted fighters. There's Eloy Perez of Salinas, and Jorge Linares, the former champion. Are those the Golden Boy likes to put their guys in with their own guys most of the time? Are those two guys that you've kept your eye on at all?
Two good fighters, possibly could. Like I said, they'll handle that. I do what I do. I'm gonna train and be ready. So whoever they put in front of me is who I'm gonna fight. So it could be a possibility.
All right. Thanks a lot, Vicente, and enjoy the fights tomorrow.
Thank you.